Greetings friends and fans of YouTube, it's nice to see you all again. Welcome to another one of my videos. So today is a lesson, but I feel it's one that I need to really speak about because it's actually landed me with an injury. And the lesson I'm going to sort of go through today is the importance of taking a break and the importance of correct technique. Why am I bringing this up? Well, as you'll be able to see here, I cannot actually lift my middle and ring fingers on my left hand. As a result of a guitar-related injury, I have hyperfatigued the extensor muscles in my forearm, meaning that for at least 2 weeks, I can't play guitar because I can't even move my hand properly. I haven't got the proper dexterity, and my hand just feels like a claw. And this was because I didn't take a frequent enough break when practicing. Now, the reason I brought this up is because I don't want people to end up injured as a result of doing something they love. I've been playing for 10 years, never had a guitar-related injury. This is the first time I've ever had a sort of serious injury doing something I love. So I just want to bring up the importance, really, of taking a break. If you start to feel cramps in your forearms or in your fingers, stop. Because I've been quite lucky with the injury that I've got. However, some of you may know Dave Mustaine from Megadeth ended up completely destroying his nerve in his arm, his lateral nerve, and as a result couldn't play for 2 years. He had to go through extensive physiotherapy, and with a bit of grit and willpower he actually got there, and as you know, continued to write music. However, he now does suffer with serious arthritic problems in his hand, and he's said in an interview recently there are days where his left hand can't even play properly. Now, I don't ever want to be in that kind of position. So one of the things you need to look at a lot is your posture. And this is in relation to the way you're sat, the way you're stood, the way that your strap sits across your body, how far down the guitar sits from your arms. And all of those little things can add up and equate to potential injury if not done correctly. So when you're sat playing guitar, sit with the guitar at a slight right angle. This will allow for natural movement in the wrist and the fingers and is what's known as classical position. It's the best kind of position to play as it's the most natural feeling and doesn't hyperextend any of your muscles in your forearms. When you're stood, you ideally need your strap to be set around the midriff area of your body, around your belly. Some people have it higher, some people have it lower, and it's the people that have it lower that usually tend to suffer with wrist problems, and it's also really bad for your pick economy. You're having to really overstretch your hand to essentially hit a string. Whereas if it's further up, you're not having to hyperextend your hand and you can really increase your pick speed. So how have I ended up with my injury? Just not taking a break. People say they can practice for 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but it is always essential to at least take a 15 to 20 minute break in between every 1 or 2 hours. This allows your muscles to decontract, the lactic acid to flow, and prevent serious injury. As I say, I've sort of got lucky. Granted, I can't lift 2 of my fingers and gripping is difficult, but I haven't done any severe damage, and with massaging, anti-inflammatories and some rest, my arm will be fine. On the flip side, permanent devil horns for a couple of days. But black clouds and silver linings. I just wanted to bring that up, guys, because I've suffered an injury and I don't want anyone else to ever do it. I know how bad guitar injuries can get, and in the 10 years that I've been playing, as I say, I've never had a guitar-related injury through over fatigue. So just take some care, take some time to rest, and also sometimes take a break. Daft as it might sound, and this is sort of branching off a little bit, but it kind of fits. If you're having writer's block, stop. Just stop, put down, come back to it in a week or two. I usually tend to find that when I take breaks from writing, I'll listen to the news, I'll read the news, I'll listen to other music and find inspiration. Some people find it through poetry, others find it through reading novels. For instance, Metallica, H.P. Lovecraft, and we all know how that turned out. From that, we got The Call of Cthulhu, The Thing That Should Not Be, and those are two of the heaviest songs ever written. So sometimes it's nice to take a break from trying to write something, get some inspiration for it, and then come back to it. Because you may find that with that creative inspiration in mind, you end up writing differently. And what you originally thought sounded good might sound shit. And you then work on ideas based on thoughts that you have in your head. For instance, one of my tracks, Slaughtermotor, was when the UK government decided they were going to get involved with the goings-on in Syria a couple of years ago and deciding to bomb Syria, which we had no involvement or need to do. I didn't write lyrics for it, but the title stuck in my head and the riff came from that title. And it's happened a few times with me on a couple of tracks. So the big message that I'm trying to get here, guys, is take a break. Whether it be physically, mentally, psychologically, just take a break. Because it'll stop you from burning out. And most of all, it'll stop you from getting injured. I don't want people to get hurt doing something they enjoy. And it's a shock for me to be hurt as a result of something that I enjoy. So I just want to give everyone the advice. Stop and take a break. Now, onto some slightly lighter news. I am getting more recording gear very soon. And we'll be back writing the rest of my EPs and working on recording them. I'm aiming for a September, October recording time. So I'm hoping this should be out around Christmas. But obviously it's a very slow process with there only being me and still being new to programming drum tracks and some other little surprises that I've got in mind. As always, guys, I thank you very much for watching. I thank you for subscribing. Take care.